What if the reason money keeps slipping away from you has nothing to do with your job, your salary, your education, or the economy, but everything to do with the thoughts you repeat every single day without realizing it? What if wealth isn't something you chase, but something you attract the moment your mind changes? This book is built on one bold promise. Financial struggle is not caused by circumstances. It is caused by thought. And if thoughts created the struggle, thoughts can end it. Financial struggle, according to this book, comes from one source alone: our thinking. Not income, not debt, not the balance in your bank account. The author explains that life operates in a mental universe, where thoughts are the cause and circumstances are the effect. Everything we experience is preceded by thought. Every word, every action, every outcome. A universal law is constantly responding to those thoughts, materializing them with absolute precision. From childhood, most people inherit beliefs of lack. Phrases like "we can't afford it," "money doesn't grow on trees," and "money is the root of all evil" become deeply embedded. Over time, they shape a scarcity mindset, and the law simply reflects that thinking back is financial struggle. To change money, the mind must change first. Wealth begins internally before it appears externally. The book explains that to become financially free, you must think thoughts of abundance without contradiction. Even one opposing thought of lack cancels the process. This is simple, but not easy, because most people have spent a lifetime thinking the opposite. The solution is a 21-day reset, long enough to form new habits in the subconscious mind. Each day introduces a practice designed to shift thinking from scarcity to wealth. Day 1. Your wish list. Day 1 is about clarity, because you cannot attract what you have not clearly defined. Most people live in a constant mental loop of what they don't want: bills, stress, debt, and pressure, and then wonder why those same situations keep repeating. According to the principle in this book, the mind does not filter. Whatever you focus on expands. Today's practice is deliberately simple but deeply powerful. You're asked to create a wish list that includes everything you want that involves money or costs money. Not what you think is realistic. Not what you think you deserve. Not what feels safe. This is your true wish list. The life you would choose if money were no object. The list must contain at least 20 items, and there is no upper limit. Mix big desires with small ones. Clearing debts, increasing your bank balance, a specific salary, a new home, travel, gifts for family, personal comforts, and experiences you've always wanted but postponed. As you write, notice your emotional state. Feeling good while writing the list is essential, because feeling is the language that communicates most strongly with the subconscious. Once your list is complete, you assign an approximate monetary value to each item. This step makes your desires concrete. It turns vague wishes into defined intentions. The purpose is not accuracy, but engagement, training your mind to think in terms of abundance rather than avoidance. This list becomes the foundation of the entire journey. Day 2. Turn outgoing money into incoming money. On day 2, the book addresses one of the most deeply ingrained sources of financial stress: paying money out. Bills, expenses, and everyday purchases often trigger resistance, fear, or frustration. These emotions, according to the book, are not harmless. They actively block money from flowing in. The practice today flips this pattern completely. Every time you pay money for anything, you imagine that exact amount of money coming back to you instead. When you pay a bill, you mentally celebrate receiving that amount. When you buy something, you imagine someone handing you that money. You can imagine depositing it into your account, hearing the sound of money arriving, or silently saying thank you for receiving it. At first, this may feel unnatural, but repetition changes the emotional association with spending. Over time, resistance dissolves and is replaced with ease and expectation. Once the practice feels natural, you amplify it by adding a zero to the amount, training your mind to receive larger sums without fear. This habit transforms your relationship with money from tension to flow. Day 3. Wealth affirmations. Day 3 focuses on beliefs. the hidden programs running in the background of your mind. Many of your beliefs about money were formed in childhood and reinforced by society. Whether they are true or not does not matter. The subconscious accepts them as instructions. To change these programs, the book introduces affirmations, deliberate thoughts repeated consistently. Today, you write 5 wealth affirmations and place them where you will see them throughout the day. These affirmations should be positive, present tense, and emotionally believable. In addition, you begin listening to wealth affirmations as you fall asleep. This is one of the most powerful moments to influence the subconscious because the conscious mind is relaxed and less resistant. This nightly practice continues for the remainder of the program, steadily replacing scarcity beliefs with wealth-based thinking. Day 4, I want day. Day 4 reveals how often people unknowingly attract what they don't want. Complaints, worries, and negative commentary dominate everyday conversations. Today's practice interrupts that cycle completely. For the entire day, you commit to thinking and speaking only about what you want. Instead of focusing on expensive prices, you focus on appreciation. Instead of talking about lack, you talk about desires. Every time you catch yourself slipping, you consciously redirect your thoughts. This practice is challenging because it requires awareness, but it is transformative. It retrains your mind to focus forward instead of reacting to circumstances. Over time, this shift changes what you notice, what you say, and ultimately what you experience. Day 5, your wish is my command. Day 5 introduces the creation process. Ask, believe, receive. Today's focus is asking. The book uses the metaphor of a genie who responds instantly to every thought. The genie does not judge, question, or filter, it simply responds. You ask whenever you think, speak, or act. The universe assumes that whatever occupies your attention is what you want more of. Today, you return to your wish list and select your top 10 desires. You calculate their total value and write that amount on a symbolic check from the Bank of the Universe. This act is not about the paper. It is about clarity and intention. Once the request is made without contradiction, the process begins automatically. The universe takes care of the how. Your role is simply to ask clearly. Day 6, I believe it. Belief is the second step of creation, and it is often the most challenging. To believe means that your subconscious accepts that you already have what you want. Without belief, contradictory thoughts block results. Today's practice uses imagination to bypass resistance. You choose 3 desires and visualize yourself having them. You imagine the experience in detail, how it feels, how you move, how you react, and then you take a mental photograph of yourself with each desire. Pictures are the language of the subconscious. When the image is accepted internally, the law reproduces it externally. This practice trains belief through repetition rather than force. Day 7, and you will receive. Receiving is not passive, it is emotional alignment. According to the book, the frequency of receiving is feeling good. Joy, gratitude, appreciation, and ease signal openness. Today is about maintaining a good feeling state as consistently as possible. When your mood drops, you consciously raise it using simple actions: music, movement, gratitude, connection, or quiet breathing. The goal is not perfection, but awareness. The principle is simple. When you feel good, you are open to receive. When you resist, you block. Emotional awareness becomes a practical tool for manifestation. Day 8, money in your mind, money in your hand. Day 8 dismantles the illusion of size and time. The book explains that the universal law does not distinguish between small and large amounts. Those distinctions exist only in human belief. To prove this, today's practice focuses on manifesting $1. Because it feels easy and believable, resistance is minimal. You visualize receiving $1 and remain alert throughout the day. This practice builds trust in the process. Once you experience results with small amounts, belief naturally expands to larger ones. Day 9, gratitude multiplies money. Gratitude is described as the fastest way to increase wealth. When you feel grateful for money you have received, you multiply it. Today, you reflect on the abundance that has already flowed through your life: food, shelter, education, healthcare, travel, experiences, and support. Many of these were received without direct effort. As you recognize how much you have already received, the illusion of lack dissolves. Gratitude softens resistance and opens the door to more. Day 10, the boomerang effect. Day 10 explains that whatever you send out returns to you multiplied. Thoughts, emotions, and actions all operate on this principle. Today's practice involves imagining yourself giving money freely to others. You visualize generosity, ease, and joy. The feeling is what matters most. By imagining giving, you signal abundance. The universe responds to that signal, returning the energy multiplied. What you send out determines what comes back. Day 11, Gratitude Morning. Day 11 shifts the focus to how you begin your day, because the first thoughts you think set the emotional and mental tone for everything that follows. According to the principle in this book, gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It is a powerful force that attracts more of whatever you are grateful for. When gratitude is missing, even what you already have begins to feel scarce. The practice today is simple but intentional. As soon as you wake up, before distractions take over, you begin by mentally saying 10 times, "Thank you for all the money coming into my life." These words immediately place your mind on the frequency of receiving. After that, you think of 10 things you already own and love that cost money. They could be small or large: your phone, your clothes, your bed, your home, your transportation, or anything that supports your daily life. Each item becomes proof that money has already flowed to you many times before. This practice trains your mind to recognize abundance instead of overlooking it. Day 12, Money Vision Board. Day 12 works directly with the subconscious mind through images. The subconscious responds far more strongly to pictures than to words, which is why visualizing wealth can be more powerful than simply thinking about it. Today, you create a money vision board and place it somewhere you will see often. The board is filled with images that represent wealth and prosperity, currency, gold, symbols of abundance, and also personal desires such as a dream home, lifestyle, or experiences. The goal is saturation. The more frequently your mind sees images of wealth, the more normal abundance becomes internally. You also write different monetary amounts on the board, ranging from small to large. Each time one amount manifests, it is replaced with a new one. This constant exposure conditions your subconscious to accept money as a natural and recurring part of life. Day 13. I'm a multimillionaire. Day 13 is about identity. What you believe you are determines what you allow yourself to receive. Today, you step fully into the role of a multimillionaire, not someday, but now. Throughout the day, you imagine that you are already financially free. You pay attention to how this version of you would walk, speak, think, and react. You feel the relief of never worrying about money. You imagine helping others, choosing freely, and living without limitation. This practice is not about pretending. It is about rehearsing a new identity until it feels familiar. When the subconscious accepts this identity, circumstances begin to reorganize to match it. Day 14, thank you paid. Bills are one of the most common triggers of financial stress. Day 14 transforms them from sources of anxiety into tools for gratitude. Today, you look at unpaid bills and imagine their checks instead. Instead of reacting with resistance, you feel gratitude for the money they represent. You write thank you for the money across them, either physically or mentally. When a bill is paid, you mark it with thank you, paid, and feel genuine appreciation that you had the resources to cover it. This practice dissolves negative emotional associations with money. Over time, gratitude replaces fear, and money flows with greater ease. Day 15, deliberate acts of kindness. Day 15 reinforces the principle that what you send out returns to you. Thoughts, and actions directed toward others are never lost. They circle back. Today, you make a conscious effort to be kind to everyone you encounter. You offer smiles, appreciation, encouragement, and genuine goodwill. Beyond outward actions, you silently wish prosperity and richness for others. By sending thoughts of abundance outward, you align yourself with abundance inwardly. Kindness becomes a signal to the universe that you are operating from fullness rather than lack. Day 16. Money does grow on trees. This day challenges long-held beliefs about money. Many people carry subconscious ideas that money is hard to earn, limited, or only available to certain people. These beliefs silently block financial growth. Today, you identify these limiting beliefs and consciously replace them with wealth-focused thoughts. Each time a scarcity belief arises, you repeat its opposite. Over time, repetition weakens old beliefs and installs new ones. The central message is clear. Money is not scarce, opportunities are not limited, and your thoughts are the only true constraint. Day 17. More money is coming to me today. Day 17 introduces intention as a daily practice. Intention directs energy before events unfold. When you intend something clearly, you align your mind with that outcome. Today, you repeatedly affirm that more money is coming to you. You expect opportunities, discounts, gifts, ideas, and unexpected sources of income. The goal is not to force results, but to remain open and receptive. Intention shapes perception. When you expect more, you notice more. Day 18. Here comes Santa. Day 18 focuses on surprise and joy. Many people believe money can only arrive through predictable means, such as salary or routine work. This belief limits possibilities. Today, you imagine money arriving in unexpected, joyful ways. You picture surprise checks, refunds, gifts, or opportunities appearing without effort. The emphasis is on delight rather than control. By welcoming surprise, you open the door to forms of abundance you may never have considered. Day 19. Fixing the future with gratitude. Gratitude is extended into the future on day 19. Instead of waiting for results to feel thankful, you thank life in advance. You imagine future financial success as already accomplished and feel deep appreciation for it now. This practice strengthens trust and removes doubt. Gratitude for what is coming aligns your emotional state with certainty. Day 20. Remember to remember. Day 20 is a reminder that wealth thinking must be maintained. Old habits do not disappear overnight, and awareness is essential. Today, you consciously remember everything you have learned so far. When old thoughts return, you gently replace them. The goal is not perfection, but consistency. Wealth becomes natural when abundance-focused thinking becomes automatic. Day 21 to 5-year manifestation. The final day anchors everything into a long-term vision. You imagine your financial life 5 years into the future, fully abundant and secure. You picture where you live, how you spend your time, how you feel about money, and how freely it flows. This vision is detailed, calm, and confident. By holding this image, you give your subconscious a destination. The journey continues beyond these 21 days, but the foundation for lasting financial freedom is now firmly in place. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you align with. Over 21 days, the mind is trained to release scarcity and accept abundance as natural. When thinking changes, circumstances must follow. The countdown ends here, but the practice continues for life.